Hi folks, it's Nick in the command chair. We're on the ZX Spectrum and we're going to look at a game called Xevious by US Gold in 1987. Yes, it's an arcade conversion by US Gold, so I don't know what's going to happen here. It's a vertical scrolling shooter, also come out on the Amstrad CPC, the Atari 7800, I think that is, Commodore 64 and the NES. There's a bit of a storyline behind this. In the Ice Age, this Xevious population used to live on Earth. They left and now they've come back again and we're all here, so they want to get rid of us. So a big fight started out. I control this ship here and waves of aliens will come at us. By hitting the fire button you can do normal shooting. By holding it down it fires a bomb instead for extra destructive power. No real power ups on this that I know of, and it's all a little bit monochrome, which we've come to expect. We must keep fighting and fighting and fighting to get to the Genesis mothership. We must give it a direct hit to the reactor and then it blows up. The arcade game, as I try and fly through here, come out by Namco in 1982. And the arcade version, which I have had a look at before reviewing this, looked like heaps of fun. It was of an era classic 1982, but held up well. This seems to be a little bit away from that, but it's scrolling quite good, and things are coming at me too. So we'll quite smoothly too, I should say. So we'll see how this plays as I die again. If I don't get very far, it's for 1 to 2 players, turn-based I believe, but if I don't get very far, I do know a cheat for infinite lives, so hopefully we can get a bit of a distance. I'm not a big fan of green. I would have preferred yellow or cyan or a different colour. This makes it look a little bit like you're looking at a fish tank with too much algae inside. Right, okay. Now as conversions go by US Gold, they were very hit and miss. I think they've taken the Spectrum, well, in terms of scrolling, as far as they could do. It's not very exciting graphics, could have been a bit better there. Like the shadowing underneath the ships, that's pretty good. Now normally I'm not very good at these vertical scrolling shoot 'em ups because they're very difficult. This one seems a little bit easier because I'm actually getting some distance without dying. Now I can't complain that it's easy because it makes my reviewing job a little bit easier. But it's feeling a little bit bland. There seems to be a bit of pizzazz missing from this. The excitement factor doesn't seem quite there. If you're on YouTube, which I'm sure you will be if you're watching this, do type in Xevious Arcade to see some arcade footage so you can compare it to this. And it falls some distance. And this was 5 years later after the arcade came out, so 1987. Doing a direct comparison, I suppose you can have to compare this to the original Xenon on the ZX Spectrum. I suppose it's on a par with that really, but Xenon was a little bit earlier. It's pretty boring, this one. It's okay but boring. I don't think it's a game I'll be coming back to anytime soon, but it's not disastrous. Vertical scrolling shooting. I prefer Flying Fox, ones like that, and Swiv. Yeah, there's quite a lot better than this, to be honest. Right, go. Yes, there is a 128k version. I don't know if that plays music going all the way through. I said on a previous video I was going to review this, so here's a review of it. If you had it back in the day, let me know what you think of it back then or even now. I don't think it's aged particularly well. Like that road down there, I suppose that's supposed to be an airport. Game over, player 1. Right, so let's put my name in. Then we'll put in the Pope for infinite lives. And we'll see how far we can get. So, vertical scrolling shooter, Xevious, published by US Gold in 1987, converted from the arcade cabinet by Namco from 82. Namco, if you didn't know, also did Pac-Man. So if you saw the two cabinets next to each other, I'd play Pac-Man first. Pac-Man is a super duper game. Joystick or keyboard here. Keyboard, you can probably fire the bombs a bit quicker in different keys, but hold the fire button down, it's bomb. But you can probably complete the game without using the bomb function, so yeah. If you had this on the Amstrad CPC or any other system, Commodore 64, etc., let me know. Might play it at some point in the distant future on the Commodore 64. I'd imagine the colours used a little bit better there. But the best bit about this game, one would say, is the smoothness of the scrolling. Hooray for that. But overall, as an experience, as a game playing experience, it is rather bland in my humble opinion. No real power-ups, but I don't think there was any. Maybe there were some in the actual arcade game, not sure. Very narrow field, not using too much of the screen, which a lot of the Spectrum games didn't really, so I can forgive it for that. In 1987, the Amiga was starting to come to the fro, as the Atari ST was as well, the 16 bits. So it started to be up against those, and people were wondered by that. I don't think there's any place in this for gaming. It's missed the boat, I think. If it had come out in 85, even 2 years earlier, it might have been a bit more successful. But it's a bit late to be presenting this to the Spectrum scene. The gun sounds are a little bit weedy. Feels like I'm jumping in some shallow puddle rather than shooting hot plasma at aliens. So the Ice Age, although there was no record of these people, the Xevian population were populating the Earth. Their technology couldn't overcome the Ice Age. They seemed to have spaceships and stuff. So they disappeared. I don't know where they went to. Some odd planet. And they want the Earth back. They think the Earth's pretty good. Well, we've ruined it a little bit, but they might like it like that. They might see it as a challenge. So when is the next Ice Age then? Do you know? Have you got it in your diary? Apparently they come around every few tens of millions of years. If we did hit an Ice Age now, I don't know what the human race would do. We'd probably run out of fuel or something for heating. Yeah, that's a bit of a worry. It's very fragile, isn't it, planet Earth? There could be an Ice Age, there could be an asteroid strike. It's just a question of what does man do then to survive further. God, I've had this cough for ages. It just won't go away. Tickly throat. Medicine on standby. I'm not starting the review now. Again, that's for sure. We're too far in. We're not going to be completing this game. It looks like you just do one stage that goes on forever, which is quite clever, rather than doing separate stages. Unless they're very long stages, of course, which might require a bit of tape loading if it's 48K. If you know, let me know. Does the stage end, or does there require any tape loading at any point? Ice Age. I did a vlog quite recently about Stephen Hawking saying we have to leave the Earth within 100 years or there'll be some disaster. The human race might die out. Didn't mention anything about Ice Ages, so it's a possibility as well. What causes an Ice Age? The Earth moving too far from the sun at some point? Possibly. Oh man, I'd like the background to change at some point, but it's just staying this rather murky green. Murky green. Sounds like the name of some weird detective. Does it? No. Murky green. Copyright. I better copyright that. Murky green. And he goes on firing the Xevian Empire, who are attacking us in ships shaped like coins. They've got ground defences they put on the Earth, I presume. And they're just shooting regardless. So when you pull away the storyline, it's just a rather average shooter. Run of the mill. Not one that's really going to be remembered a great deal. And that's all you can pretty much say about it, really. Xenon you could change into a ground-based vehicle. Oh, it's going a bit blue. Does that represent a different stage? Although they're connected now. I don't like that. Blue on green. That's a disaster. Now, these mirrors that turn up, we can't shoot them. We just have to avoid them. So it's a bit like being in an asteroid storm. Just go round the mirrors. A bit like those mirrors in Superman 2 that the villains Zod, Ursa and Non got trapped in. I don't think they're in these today. Perhaps that was influenced by Superman 2. Yeah, this is a disaster now. Blue on green. My ears are going, my eyes are going funny. My ears might be going funny as well. Who knows? I'm of that age. Right, now the mirrors are black, so that was very strange. Very strange indeed. Whether they wanted it to be blue, I think it's because they've gone for a mixture of green and blue background. Spectrum can't handle it, as it's made everything blue to try and make it easier to sort out. But it had to be black on this, did it not? Those tanks along the ground don't seem to be firing stuff. Yeah, I'm not liking this bit at all. Let's get out of here, back onto the green and black. Kaboom! Smash. Yeah. Excellent. Are there any other shooters I can review on the ZX Spectrum, which I haven't come to already? I expect there would be absolutely loads. Before you suggest them, just do a YouTube search, N Jenkins in the name of it, because the likelihood is any ones you mention I would have covered, because we're coming up to about 400 ZX Spectrum games reviewed now. That's incredible. 400, but still quite a lot to go. Oops, dead. Yeah, my infinite lives are holding up well here, as infinite lives tend to do, but this review is not going to go on forever. If I can't get past this bit soon, we will disappear. I've certainly shown you all the gameplay, really. it doesn't deviate a great deal from this. We've seen practically all the enemies, and it's just going over an endless terrain, and they're just in a different sort of like order, in a sort of like cut and paste sort of fashion, really. Yeah. A little bit boring now, isn't it? A little bit bland. Good for a few goes, but won't keep your entertainment if you've got a lot of other games sitting in your Spectrum box. You would, if a friend come around to play it, you probably play this for about a few minutes, and then that's about it. You have a couple of goes, and then you'll load up a completely different game as we try and fight these weird cog sort of things firing at us. So Infinite Lives has managed to make us a bit of a distance on this one. Oh no, blue and green again. Diddly-dee, diddly-dee. Yes. Don't know what country we're flying over. We might even not be over Earth. We might be on some alien planet. We might have gone to the Xevious Empire to show them what's what. But as per usual in these shooters, it's a single fighter against impossible odds. And we're here to become hero of the day and get back to Earth and get knighthoods and plaudits and statues made of us and all that sort of stuff. Or not. Or get blown up and the Earth not get remember us because it's been overtaken by Xevious hoodlums. Yeah, I think it's a while until we're going to see the actual mothership at the end. Kid would need great skills to get the end of this one with just the lives available. That is for sure. Yeah. I don't think I can take too much more of this one. We might call this my last little attempt at it. Blow up him, go, go, go. Very hard sometimes to see the stuff shooting at you because it's all in a bit of a monochrome affair. I think we'll leave that there. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Xevious, a vertical scrolling shooter published by US Gold in 1987 and based on the arcade cabinet by Namco of 1982. If you've got any thoughts about that, any comments or any similar games, then please put your comments below. Always welcome. If you want to help the channel survive, then please subscribe if you haven't already done so. That's a big help in YouTube terms. If you want to help it just that little bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every little bit helps, and I'm really, really grateful for any support you can bring. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.